After 60, your muscles aren't just shrinking during the day, they're quietly vanishing while you sleep, and you won't feel it until it's too late. But here's the breakthrough: a specific type of protein, taken right before bed, can flip that switch. One study found it increased overnight muscle repair by 33% in men over 70. What is it? And how does it work for aging bodies? Frank, 71, didn't feel old, just stiff in the morning. Getting out of bed took longer. His balance felt off. He assumed it was just aging, until one small bedtime change rewired everything. After 60, your body quietly slips into muscle breakdown mode at night, what scientists call catabolism. And unless your muscles get the right support before bed, they'll keep disappearing. But the good news? There's a simple proven fix that helps older adults rebuild strength while they sleep. And today, I'll walk you through exactly how it works. 1. Why muscles disappear at night. Here's something most people over 60 have never been told. Your muscles aren't just losing strength over time, they're breaking down while you sleep. It's not your fault. It's how the aging body shifts gears overnight. When you go to bed without the right fuel, your body enters a fasting state. No calories, no amino acids. So, what does it do? It starts pulling protein from the only place it can, your muscles. This process is called catabolism. And while everyone goes through it, seniors feel the damage more. That's because after 60, your muscle cells become more resistant to repair. The locks that once opened easily for amino acids, now they're rusty. Researchers call this anabolic resistance, and it's one of the hidden drivers of muscle loss in aging adults. In a 2017 study from the Journal of Nutrition, older men who went to bed without protein lost 33% more muscle overnight, compared to those who had one simple addition before bed. It wasn't a supplement. It wasn't medication. It was food. Think of your body like a construction site. If there are no bricks delivered overnight, your repair crew doesn't build. They tear down the leftover walls just to finish the job. Now, imagine that happening every single night. Frank, 71, didn't know any of this. He just knew he was waking up weaker. At first, he blamed age, then arthritis, then poor sleep. But none of those were the root cause. It was this quiet, invisible muscle drain. So, let me ask you gently, have your mornings started feeling harder, even when your days seem the same? 2. Casein, the silent nighttime hero. So what's the fix? Not a supplement, not a late-night meal, but a specific kind of protein that works while you sleep. It's called casein, and it's your body's secret overnight builder. Unlike whey, which floods your bloodstream and disappears fast, casein digests slowly, gently, over 6 to 8 hours. Think of it like a steady IV drip of amino acids, feeding your muscles all night long. In fact, a study from AJP Endocrinology and Metabolism, 2012, found that men in their 70s who consumed 40 grams of casein before bed saw a 55% boost in muscle protein synthesis overnight. Even better, it reversed their nighttime muscle loss completely. Why does it work so well for seniors? Because it matches the slower rhythm of an aging digestive system. It keeps amino acids circulating just long enough to reach muscle cells that don't absorb as easily anymore. It helps insulin, the key that unlocks muscle doors, turn the lock smoothly, even when resistance is high. Frank didn't know any of this when he started. He just added half a cup of cottage cheese before bed. That's it. 3 weeks later, he told me, I used to wake up stiff and tired. Now, I feel like I actually recovered overnight. Here's what worked for him. Timing. 30 minutes before bed. Amount. 35 to 45 grams of casein, about 1 heaping scoop of casein powder or 1.5 cups of cottage cheese. Bonus tip. Add cinnamon or warm milk to aid digestion and help with sleep. Here's what your cells are actually doing while you're sleeping. They're either building or breaking down. And casein flips the switch to build. So, what do you give your muscles before bed? Anything at all? 3. mTOR, your muscles master. Switch. There's one more reason casein works so well. It's not just the slow drip. It's the signal it sends. You see, inside every muscle cell is a tiny switchboard. The main switch, it's called mTOR. And when mTOR is off, your muscles stay in standby mode, even if amino acids are present. But when it's triggered, muscle building begins. The key that flips this switch? Leucine, one of the 9 essential amino acids found in high-quality proteins, especially in casein, eggs, and certain plant blends. Leucine tells mTOR, we've got building blocks, let's start construction. But here's the challenge after 60. Your body becomes less responsive to leucine, so you need more of it, and it needs to show up at the right time. In a 2021 study published in IJSNEM, older adults who combined casein before bed with light resistance exercise saw a 29% increase in connective tissue synthesis overnight. That means stronger joints, better movement, and less soreness when you wake up. Frank didn't change everything. He just added a short walk after dinner, followed by his bedtime shake. And he mixed in 3 grams of supplemental leucine just to make sure the switch flipped. He told me, I used to feel like my muscles were ignoring the fuel. Now, it's like they're finally listening. Here's how to do what Frank did. Add 3 grams of leucine to your casein shake, especially if you're using plant-based proteins. Pair with movement. Even a 10-minute stretch or light walk helps prime the signal. Be consistent. This isn't magic. It's a message you send every night. Ignore this, and the symptoms often get worse without warning. Without the right signal, your body stores but never builds. Have you been feeding your muscles but forgetting to activate them? 4. Cortisol, morning's hidden villain. Just before sunrise, something happens inside your body. Your stress hormone, cortisol, naturally rises. Now, this isn't a bad thing by itself. Cortisol helps wake you up, regulate inflammation, and get moving. But for seniors, especially those not eating before bed, cortisol becomes a quiet thief. Without protein in your system to buffer it, cortisol starts breaking down muscle fibers for fuel. This is part of what doctors call catabolic drive, your body tapping into tissue reserves when nothing else is available. And after 60, that drive hits harder and lasts longer. In my clinical experience with older adults, the ones waking up sore, stiff, or drained often have one thing in common. They're going to bed empty. But here's what's fascinating. Research shows that having a steady amino acid stream in your bloodstream at dawn can dampen cortisol's catabolic signal. Think of it like this. Cortisol is your body's alarm bell. Amino acids are the snooze button, not to put it back to sleep, but to calm it down enough to protect your muscle. One study from Endocrine Reviews found that casein protein slowed morning cortisol's tissue-degrading effects in older men without disrupting sleep cycles. And this was without any medication, just food. Frank didn't know any of that. But after adding casein and leucine before bed, something unexpected happened. I used to wake up with tight hips and a clenched jaw. Now I wake up feeling calm. It's strange, but good. You don't need a complex routine. You need consistency. One simple, slow-digesting dose, taken at the right time, can protect you through that early morning window. This moment is where healing starts feeling like home. When you wake up tomorrow, what do you want your body to feel first? Tension or trust? 5. Timing is everything. How to do it. Right. So far, we've talked about what to eat before bed. Now let's talk about when, because timing matters just as much as content. After 60, your digestion slows down, stomach acid declines, gut movement becomes more gentle. That means you can't just eat protein, and expect your body to absorb it in time. You need to match your food to your body's new rhythm. Here's what works best: 30 minutes before lights out. Not 2 hours before, not 5 minutes before. Just enough time for the protein to begin digesting, without interfering with sleep. Frank used to eat dinner at 6 p.m. and go to bed at 10. He thought that was enough, but his muscles were running on empty by 3 a.m. Now he adds a slow casein shake or a scoop of cottage cheese at 9:30 p.m. with a small glass of water. It doesn't bloat him. It doesn't wake him up. It just works. There's a quiet logic here. Think of your body like a freight train preparing for a night shift. You don't throw coal on when it's pulling out of the station. You load it gradually, just before the journey begins. That gentle intake makes all the difference. Here's the full protocol. Timing: 25 to 35 minutes before bed. Amount: 35 to 45 grams of casein or 1 heaping scoop of powder. Add-ons: a pinch of cinnamon, warm milk, or a teaspoon of chia can aid digestion. Avoid sugar or high-fat snacks. They compete with absorption and spike insulin unpredictably. But what most people miss is what comes next. It's not just about fueling muscle. It's about syncing your fuel with your body's clock. Have your habits been working with your body's rhythm or against it? 6. Frank's story. From morning weakness to rejuvenation. For Frank, it started with a question he couldn't answer. Why do I wake up feeling worse than when I went to bed? He wasn't staying up late. He wasn't skipping meals. He even walked every afternoon with his wife. But each morning, it felt like his muscles had been drained, his legs stiff, his balance shaky, his energy low. So we made one small change. We added a casein shake just 30 minutes before bed, and paired it with a gentle walk after dinner, a light stretch, and 3 grams of leucine in his shake. That's it. The first night, he slept more deeply. The third night, he woke up without that usual tightness in his hips. By week 2, he was getting out of bed without grabbing the wall. Frank told me something I'll never forget. It's like my body stopped crumbling overnight. I feel like I'm finally rebuilding instead of just surviving. That's the shift we're looking for. Not magic, not miracles, just a quiet reversal of decline. His ritual became sacred. Dinner by 6, a short walk at 7, casein shake at 9:30 stretch, and lights out by 10. And the result? He didn't just regain muscle, he regained confidence. He started holding his grandson without fear of stumbling. He took the stairs without gripping the rail. He even started light strength training again, after years of avoiding it. A stronger morning means fewer falls and more time with family. Visual overlay: grandfather lifting child near sunrise. Sound cue: soft piano. Rise, warm vocal hum. Is there a small ritual you could protect just for your future strength? Because the way you finish your day might be the reason you wake up stronger tomorrow. 7. The most common mistake and how to fix it. There's one reason most seniors never try this bedtime strategy. They've been told it's bad to eat before bed. You've probably heard it too. Don't snack late. Food before sleep turns to fat. Nighttime eating messes with your blood sugar. But here's what most people don't realize. There's a massive difference between mindless snacking and targeted nutrition that supports your body's overnight repair systems. In fact, a 2017 study from the Journal of Nutrition found that older adults who consumed casein protein before bed improved their muscle protein synthesis by 33% without affecting blood glucose or disrupting sleep quality. Why? Because this isn't sugar, it's not fat, it's not empty carbs, it's amino acids, delivered slowly, right when your body needs them most. Here's the mistake. Many seniors avoid food entirely before bed out of fear, but then wake up stiff, inflamed and weaker, without knowing why. Frank used to do the same thing. He'd stop eating by 7 p.m., drink some tea, brush his teeth, and by 5 a.m., his body had run out of fuel. It was like trying to make it through the night with an empty tank. So, here's the correction. Don't avoid food. Avoid the wrong food. Skip the cookies, crackers, and healthy granola bars. Instead, focus on one healing habit. Casein-based shake cottage cheese with cinnamon, warm milk with leucine if needed. This isn't a cheat. It's a signal. You're telling your body, I still want strength tomorrow. Let's make it happen tonight. What most people don't realize is strategic nighttime nutrition helps aging muscle survive. Have you been avoiding bedtime fuel or choosing the kind that sets you back? Before you close your eyes tonight, just ask your body one quiet question. Do you have what you need to rebuild? Because after 60, your muscles won't repair by accident. They need a signal, they need a rhythm, and they need you to remember them right before bed. For Frank, that meant one habit, a small shake, a short stretch, no supplements, no overhaul. And now, he wakes up steadier, less sore, more confident. So, here's your mirror moment. What if one evening ritual could help you wake up stronger next week than you are today? You're not too late, you're right on time, and it starts tonight. Share your nighttime habit in the comments. It might help someone else. And if this gave you a new idea to try, tap that thumbs up. And subscribe for one small healing step each week.